I just got here! I just got here! Ah! Lily, thank you for the raid. Hi, everyone. I just ate a big fucking plate of spaghetti, so I'm feeling great. I hope you had a good time with Lily. Was that 12 hours? Six. Okay. Yeah, it's important to prioritize yourself here. Got sick. Yeah. No. Take your time to rest. Drink liquids. Love yourself. It's all important. You're important to us. And I don't need to give you a shout out because everyone is here from your stream, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to give Kiki a shout out. Well, hi everyone. You can look forward to an interesting time as we dive into Disco Elysium. If you haven't been here for the last couple of streams and you're not too familiar with what this game is, it is a what is it? It's a detective game where you have a mental breakdown. Okay, imagine. Okay, you wake up with no memory of who you are or what the world is or anything because you got super drunk, and then when you wake up you realize the world is terrible and you have to figure out what's going on in the world as well as solve a murder case that you were actually assigned to do. It's a good game. It's incredibly dense with its writing in a good way if you like that kind of thing. And oh my goodness. Thank you again for the raid. I want to say, like, major spoilers ahead for folks who haven't played. I'm a bit further along in the case. So if it's a game that you were interested in remotely, it might be bad to watch me play it, but I recommend hanging around because what I do and the dialogue you hear might be completely different from your playthrough if you decide to play it. Let's just jump right the fuck in. Let's go. It helps if I select the right window to stream. If I'm going to keep facing this way because I have to adjust myself here in a minute. Music should... Oh, I have the desktop audio muted. That's why. commandeering a friend's PS5. I've been playing this game for 6 weeks. Once a week for 6 weeks. At no point did I ever realize that you could just use WASD to move. Revolutionary. And shift runs. This is a revolutionary feature. But I need to move myself and chat so that important stuff is viewable. Where am I? There I am. Woo! Cool. What's up, guys? Egg. In an earlier Discord, in Discord earlier, I had mentioned the idea of recording like me saying people's names like a Smash announcer. And then I thought about, like, if this was Brawl, what would be the one thing that you say that comes out of the tiny little Wiimote speaker? And the first thing I thought with Kiki would be egg. So just, you select Kiki and just like, Kiki Sencho! Egg. Oh, Lily would be I'm gay, right? Trans Queen of Salt. I'm gay! How's the... Okay. What are my tasks? I need a cigarette. I have to paint a wall. Sing karaoke.
Got him.
I lower the prices of sound alerts. I took some off because I'm going to be reworking some of the sound alerts. So look forward to that. I just haven't done it yet. Kiki, when you get the chance, can you DM me the egg PNG that you use in VTube Studio? For no reason whatsoever. I don't know if there's any other, like, side activities that I should try to knock out. I guess let's just go to the island. Not much else for it, you know? Talk to everybody. Where am I at with skill points, I wonder? I'm at 1 skill point. I kind of want actual art degree. But I want to save my skill points for checks.
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
Some people hurt me.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
You didn't only get shot.
I can also get not shot. Yeah, fine.
Well, good for you.
I have a question.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
We need to get to the island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried.
Ah,
We've got
thank
2
you.
days of relative sunshine ahead. Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think. Bombed to bits in the landing.
Huh.
I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it.
Interesting.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me. The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such. The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do. Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Can we borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back. And no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two.
Aye.
What if I want to rock? Not along attentively.
Crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Gotcha. Let's talk to these kids. So yeah, there's a lot to fill folks in on if you haven't been here the whole time. There was a person hung on a tree by, like, industrial cabling. Everything pointed to the union being directly involved, like the workers' union and the dock workers and all that stuff. So we investigated the dock workers, and they said they had nothing to do with it. Or actually, they said they were directly responsible for it, but the more we investigated the body, we found out that there was a bullet hole in the skull, and we found the bullet. We then learned that it might have been connected to someone who wanted him dead, or wanted the person he was having sex with dead, because he was shot while having sex. Because, you know. So, all of this happens, and then we learn that there is a group of mercenaries, not just the one guy, who was hung and shot in the head. He was not the only mercenary. There were multiple stationed around the place, hired by the company that were fighting against the Union. And so one of the beliefs was that they were targeting the Union, or that maybe the bodyguards killed him, or what. We're not entirely sure. But at the end of the last stream, I was in a shootout with the mercenaries and got shot in the leg. And I was out for 3 days. So now, the one lead that we did have on who killed the one murder investigation we're currently investigating, she's also gone because we cornered her and she killed herself, tragically. I wasn't able to talk her down. So all the leads that we have are just leading to... Nice. All the leads that we have left are pointing to this island in the middle of the ocean. Now, Kim hates kids. It's up to me to talk
The
to them.
scruff-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
On that island.
Fuck kids. Yes, that one. I need to know what's there.
That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire.
Aww. Whoever voiced these kids is great. Also, I worry I've made the channel point redeems a bit cheaper to my detriment.
Mm-hmm. Gather the sticks for the fire and bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
You mean shells?
I don't know what those are.
Not in
They're
agreement.
lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
Your nerve endings sting from the mention of a guy. They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
Someone lives on the island?
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Love you, Kim. Why is he the fire guy?
Because he asks to put the fire out.
No. Let these kids burn things. It's a hard world out there. Let them have some fun. Why does he ask you to put the fire out?
I don't know. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like people to be there. Yes.
Sounds like Peppa Pig. It just sounds like Peppa Pig. And something about lights?
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes.
Anything else you can tell me about the guy?
No, he doesn't live there. No, he lives there. Been there twice, too. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else? What?
I don't know.
How come?
We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there.
Is that all you know? Anything more you can tell me?
There's
Lights. Fire guy. We should check up on that island.
Bye, kids. Take care. How you doing, ma'am?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I got shot!
Even I can see that. I told you not to bring your trouble, though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen.
Guess you're right. The men and guns were coming after me after all.
I'm not sure those were the last of the men with guns either. There are always more coming for your kind, officer.
What is that supposed to mean? Right, so we can borrow the boat. I don't know if there's anything else I should
Be
talk to her
careful
about.
out there.
Okay, let me quick save. I get the feeling that there's going to be some checks on the water. There's going to be some sailing checks.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
Okay. This is dumb. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. No. No. It's a dumb waiter that leads up to the roof. No.
The skiff, once you... Have you made... Remember what the net picker said. It's a small...
What? Fine, why not?
Very cool. Now tune it to Sad FM.
gonna blast some fucking tunes. That's incredible. It's just like, I'm gonna hold the boombox. And he just looks at me like, fine. This song's really pretty, actually. This game is pretty when it wants to be. It captures like that specific kind of desolation that comes with small town, you know? Like hearing about these kids like sailing off to this island in a raft reminds me that literally down my street is like an abandoned building that I used to get drunk in. I jump in through the window, smoke weed, just hang out. Used to jump the fence because one kid left a carpet up on the barbed wire. Ripped open my jeans on the broken glass in the windows. Good times. I miss being young. I'm almost 30. I don't have the same, like, physical fitness that I did when I wasn't physically fit. What am I talking about? I just miss having the adventurous spirit, or more likely, having friends who spurred me on to do other random shit.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails take... Let's go.
Right, so we're here. Whoa. Lost a chain.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Leads to depot on Land's End.
Ah, yes. So it seems.
What do you think it was used for?
For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification.
Right. I don't know what the hell we're gonna find, but I should have my gun. I have one bullet, but I should have my gun. I can't walk further that way. Can I go under? No. The only place to go is up. Huh. Oh, yeah. flammable fuel, more than likely. There's just like that childhood impulse.
This feels familiar somehow.
No, an upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, Insulindian citizens militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army. The Black and White Army of the Revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM.
May?
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics with blood dripping down your thigh.
There were all sorts of groups and groupuscules back then. It doesn't really matter.
Hell yeah, we're revolutionaries, goddammit. And I am bleeding profusely. I'm not gonna have... If this is, like, approaching the end of the game, I don't feel like I'm gonna have enough time to finish a thought. But why don't we add one? Art degree. See, I'm definitely fitter. Or I might not be, but just like when you're young, you feel invincible. And you're willing to do more stupid things, like break into abandoned buildings at night.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Where these wires lead.
Downstairs, somewhere?
I love how the answer that he says sounds more sarcastic than this.
Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout. The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator. A hollow ring, the canister. The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse.
That should do it.
I mean, I don't know what turning the thing on accomplished, but it's on. Another fallen shirt.
Books and magazines lie scattered. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back.
Someone's made themselves a home.
I need some conceptualization clothes. It's a blue stat. Thank you, Kiki. Oh, it's kind of a cool design. Why isn't that more common? You know, one short, one long sleeve. Is the one shirt? Oh, Okay.
Soft covers, serialized fantastique. Not that you can tell. This is a digest of.
You look like a parking valet. This is an officer's hat. I'm a lieutenant. I'm a proper cop.
Soft covers, serialized not that you can tell.
God damn it. I'm a real cop. I don't think that's going to help me. That's visual calculus, not conceptualization.
Soft covers, serialized fantastique, and detective. Not that you can.
I need to know. Listen. Whatever's going on with this communist shit, I need to find out. I didn't come all this way to become a gay communist, to not...
Soft covers, serialized. Not that you...
to not ignore this check. Welcome to... If you've not watched my Disco Elysium streams before, and this is your first time... if it's your first time watching a TK stream at all, hi.
Soft covers,
it gets better.
Fantastique. Not that you...
If it's the first time you've watched a Disco Elysium stream of mine, this is a common sight.
Soft covers, serialized. Not that you...
Okay. 28%. He's a safe scummer. In a game like this, it's a requirement.
Covers, serialized. Oh yes.
There it is.
Under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory. That is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints.
Ooh, yeah. I agree. Humanitarian sciences. It stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Ravachol West.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him. Wasn't there some in the communist student's room?
Student in the apartment building seemed to have some as well.
Yes.
The little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment.
Whoever has lived here, they have some education.
Interesting.
Cool.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal blanket.
r/male living spaces.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired.
Got
We'll
him.
keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead. Yes, anytime. If you need a rest later, it's okay.
You don't have to be a hero.
Yes, I do. I'm a hero cop. What's this? Scarf? Army surplus winter scarf. Well, okay. Yushanka's going on. I need to put the armor back on. There we go. Pills. Pills and money. You just steal clothes wherever you go. Yeah. See, here's the funniest part, right? Hold on. Not here. This thing, the Jamrock Shuffle. Apparently, the precinct of police officers that I come from, it's just common that they steal everything that's not nailed down, which is also true. Google civil forfeiture. But it's interesting that they've made that a character trait to excuse it when it happens in-game. Also, what up, Rye?
Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel. The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out, they terminate here. I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
So you're all the way to this part, though. Curious to see how it plays out. Yeah, no, I didn't realize I was this close to the end. Then I also checked, like, I don't have a ton of tasks left. It's basically just, like, get drunk, sing karaoke, paint a wall. Those are smaller things that I haven't done yet. And, just want to focus on this.
The dial slides under the glass, dark and silent. Restoring electric power has not breathed life into it. The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle, a dim ambient orange. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
How did the showdown go? Killed them all. Got shot in the leg. If you're thinking about, like, that was the conflict with the mercenaries. The one before that, I unfortunately was not able to talk Ruby down. Let's fucking foe.
After you.
What if we get into another fight?
Don't worry. I have a gun.
I also have a gun.
I know. It was not easy to acquire.
You're never gonna let me live that one down, are you, Kim? I lose my gun for 6 days. It's the island from Deathloop. Honestly, there's something about the color palette and the art direction that makes me think a lot of Deathloop. Both kind of taking their alternate history, 70s tinged look at the world. The game is like, you definitely got shot in the leg. Don't forget that you got shot in the leg. Wait. How did I fill the depot? The power station if I didn't have the gas canister, but I just got a gas canister now.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
Get shot in the leg, sprints everywhere anyway. That's Harry for you.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts. The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri.
Like the ones we found at Land's End.
I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important. This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window. Quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
You can have other stuff on you that counts. Did I use the boat fuel? did I have a can? Did I? I guess I used the boat fuel.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you.
I love it when it gets
like a
mathematical
tiny
like this.
landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water. The ruins look familiar. A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Gislain, 33A and 33B. the red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area.
In between the two. The Whirling
The
in Rags.
box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
Oh, also, if you're curious about how I handle Clausia, I gave her a notice slip. She's probably not going to listen, but it's something.
Do you have a line of sight to the window?
There's an opening between 33A and 10. I can see the roof.
I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. I think we have it. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Haven't been back to check on her since. I did. That's how I found out that the shot was on the island in the first place. She left after the shooting. Kim was very pissed off because he was like, we should have arrested her.
Affirmative.
Finally.
In our defense, nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere.
She's definitely not going to show up. You're right.
He looks north, over the fortification. He's conflicted for a second. There's guilt there. It takes him a moment to rationalize it away.
Could the shooter still be here?
Where?
On this island.
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more and says,
We should move now.
Kim, what the fuck did you see? Kim, you can't just say that. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Get inside. Final rest. Wait, what? What was the thing? A hidden stash. I am set on drugs. I am 100% good on drugs. Let's quick save, and then we'll sleep. Thank you for the hydration reminder.
the greasy oak.
The offer
I'm out of
still
water.
stands.
I'm
Take
gonna
it.
stretch
You
that.
don't look so good.
Oh. And a random sound effect.
When I was 12, I peed on my dog.
The bed is quite inviting, all things considered. You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there.
All right, what are you gonna play?
You didn't realize how tired you were. Your body is still nowhere near healed. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant.
Oh shit!
Your eyelids close until
That'll be a good time.
you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening.
Evening. I got here at
Sleep.
11 a.m. Or is this a dream? Am I dreaming? Also, yes, I did shave. Yeah, shaving was a bad decision. The lieutenant didn't like it either. Go down the chain? What chain? What chain? You see her footprints on the water.
Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry. Okay, don't say you need to talk right away. Melt the ice first. This way you're already talking, but you don't even want to talk to her. She would only be cold with me. Let her go. This is the Holy Queen of the territories of Muindi and Insulinda. Think of the historic knowledge we could glean. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win her back.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Morova, to live there in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime. Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality.
Just one. You're moving and you're bringing one piece of clothing, honey. Honey, work on yourself.
Oh, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not silence. Her nuptial gown flows in the wind.
Anyway. Hey. I mean, hey to you too? I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry?
I'm in my head. I miss you.
Well, I'm in my head too. We're all in our heads. Sometimes. Not as often as I used to. So much time has passed. More than it seems here.
This is everything I always warned you about.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions. She sighs. What are you doing? Stop saying things like that.
No, Harry. It's just regular skin. I'm not as beautiful as you always thought I was. Let's not get into...
She does not answer. Silence. A distant wind blows. You can't think of anything pretty to say.
No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the... We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us. Our love. It's all gone.
Huh.
I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. That's not what figurines do, Harry.
She looks at the headless found rider between your fingers. The figurines don't do anything? Anything? Yes, I thought a form of communication where words have failed. Yes, it was a good idea. But she felt obliged by the headless found rider.
I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything.
Huh.
I would have liked the headless fallen rider back then. We both said a lot of things.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender, long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it, said those things.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
Huh.
You need to recite it to her. Yeah, put a stake through your heart. She'll get hurt too. Collateral damage.
Please, Harry, I just don't have time for this.
Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows, until by the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me completely. I step on the light rail and look back. Every step lighter.
Okay, stop. Yes. Are you happy now?
I'm not.
Then why are you doing this? Very well. I wrote it. It was morning. You slept. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left. On Voyager Road. It was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then. Filled to the brim with love for you. Hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I'm no longer that person.
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs. Her breasts.
The coolest. With your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants. Smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. The first and worst time I fell in love. Yes, let's talk about that too. Let's bring it up, the zoo. In Le Jardin, the day we went east of the river. To the aquarium first. I was sad about my mother. I don't even know why. It was just a day then, but to think. Were we there now, you could touch my hair, kiss me. Talk to me about anything, go virtually anywhere in the world. Not like now. It's here. We are on Voyager Road. There. You could not pay the electrical bill. It became a lightless tomb. The years you...
Surely the alcohol didn't help either.
Everyone has a little glass of wine every now and then. I certainly do.
See? If you drank with her, you'd be cool again. If you drank with her, you could have sex on alcohol.
Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, you should let me go to the aerodrome.
It's not a very good way for things to be.
It's not. But
What?
I don't know why I said but. There is no but.
That's it?
That's it, yes. We've talked about it a million times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do.
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything.
Rhetoric. Good for me where? In fucking hell?
Oh yes, she'll come around now. Are you stupid? She's about to say something. Her innocence, Dolores Day, fiddles with the handle of... See? I don't understand.
We were bad for each other, okay? I was bad for you. Can you not see? I'm bad. I had to stop. It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know? I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can.
She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight. But it's clear you're still making her sad.
I'm sorry I made you sad.
It's okay.
Maybe we could try again?
No, Harry. We can't.
Why?
We already tried again.
Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice and then give up. Not you too.
Let's try building communism twice.
Yes, of course. I'm bourgeois because I don't want to keep hurting you.
What went on when we tried again?
I don't know. Please. Harry, we can't be together because you're insane.
She avoids turning them to you.
How?
They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head.
You know what I mean.
I'll throw the necktie away. Stop saying things anyway.
What do you mean, stopped saying things?
Doesn't say anything anymore. I think there was something I had to do with it.
It's not about some tie, Harry. You've worked there for so long you can't even talk like a normal person anymore.
Questions? Did someone say questions?
This is another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now.
Fuck! In a dialogue tree? It's possible to talk without
It's not
trees.
just the lists or trees or whatever. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stayed down for too long. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day.
You're the morning.
The morning? I don't understand.
No, I meant mourning. I'm grieving, but you're not even
Oh my God,
dead.
Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the morning. Mornings, I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32.
This is a bit much for me. It feels like your ribs are cracking around your heart.
Just rub your chest.
The advisor to the Queen of Sorrence sighs and looks down at the crumbling asphalt. There is nothing she can do about your chest pain.
Wasn't I Dolores Day just a second ago? Now I'm the X thing? You're confusing me. I haven't even bought the tickets yet.
We all told you. Everyone warned you. That's the problem. Look at what's pouring out of you.
I'm glad too, but I have to go. My friends are waiting.
What?
Cool. Your friends. Say hi to your friends for me
I
then.
will.
God, this is hitting too close to home for me.
1,000 times you beat an animal. 1,000 times you've raised that fabric. What is underneath has always calmed you, centered you, made you sane.
Yes, Harry. I am. Things have gotten much better for me. Now,
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists.
92%. It's gonna fail anyway. Because why would this succeed after everything we've discussed?
With your feet trembling from the steps you took, tepid and fearful, she is not kissing you back. Nothing, just pillows against you, unresponsive, but for the taste of apricots. This was not about failure or success. This was always going to be horror. I should not have suggested it, and you should not have listened to me. The moment is ending. She is going to move
But
her
I
face
succeeded.
away from yours.
Yeah, no, this reminds me too much of real relationships.
Trying hard not to look at. Brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you.
Oh, that's it then.
No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see. I'm pregnant. You know what this means.
Is it mine?
Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember? You poor fuck. Poverty-stricken fuck. Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions.
No, this has to end. More questions. Ask more.
That's it.
I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
I understand.
No, you don't. You're just being a martyr. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight.
Will we ever see each other again?
I won't see you, but you will see me.
How can that be?
Oh, Harry. This is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? 5 years ago?
I'll see you again then.
Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, I'm suffocatingly beautiful. And young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time. So long ago.
This is intolerably bad.
Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death, or war, or child molestation. See you tomorrow.
Huh. Yeah, no, this reminds me a lot of a recent relationship. And the difficulties of coming to terms with it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, my boyfriend is here.
You're up quick. How was your sleep?
Just spit out the blood and get back to work. You're a badass like that.
Of course. I was just thinking maybe you've torn your stitches. Are you ready to move on? Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed in your sleep.
Wait, what? Oh. Oh, I must have had this in my inventory the whole time. I don't remember where I got that from. I don't think there's anything out this way. I guess it's like really tiny. Oh, that might have been Real or something. Do I want to go back for that? Yes. So I'm haunted by the nightmares of my ex-wife. Or ex-girlfriend. And I can't really accept the letting her go, because even if I recognize that I've made mistakes and that I wasn't a particularly great person, that doesn't change what happened. Or what we were. I wonder then...
A strange feeling, looking at the water, with a bottle in your hand. In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead. Perhaps there's someone there. Maybe. You know it's going to hurt.
It can be hard to let go of a relationship because you feel like that person has been a part of your life for so long that you... Huh. Might be helpful. Someone's been in your life for so long that it's influenced a large portion of who you are as a person. You know, probably introduced you to a lot of music, a lot of shows and things. You were with them when you bought clothes. In my case, a lot of the art hanging up in my room is literally by them. And it can be hard. Just hard.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
What's gun you got there?
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Bell Malgrave?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid. You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, white from the ball.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
Fuel generator, then use the console.
I should have burned that console down.
How'd you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
It's cool.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Huh.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit. The what now? I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around. Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
You can keep the gun, but put it down.
No. Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb in the sand. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession in time.
What have you been using this gun for?
No reply. You went in too fast, over-eager. You need to contextualize it for him first. Turn.
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen.
Huh.
Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Been on this island for 43 years?
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was an resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
So you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took.
For what?
For reaction to take hold.
It wasn't just reaction. You were afraid.
It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked.
And this was... when?
May the 13th, '08. 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds.
Ooh.
When they started shelling, it was the combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the Flak Tower.
So I'm guessing that the small town allegory of the union versus the corporation is paralleled to the fight between the communists and the capital.
Huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
A terrible shame still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
I ran. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland. In the bunkers underground, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse. frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. The mask of humanity fall from Capitol. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second, and then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know that the bourgeois are not human.
Say nothing, let him finish.
I had to. I had to fight it. I had to never stop. It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
First, I'm not one of them.
Sure you are. You're our CM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people Deathblow?
Murderers.
You don't know. You haven't seen it. Iblis. The black-eyed angel.
Huh. Have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you.
You also have Druamine.
I have been running out of that stuff.
There's no way he could manage the pain without them. It's safe to say he is addicted to painkillers by now.
It's the little joys. The dark joke. A sunshiny day. Morphine. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer
Make sure to
morphine.
stretch here.
Moribund.
Thank you, Dirge. Electrochemistry, always the most helpful. Yeah, I think electrochemistry has by far been the worst aspect of Harry to listen to. He's just like, you need to get drunk right the fuck now. Have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. I don't even know what. Inferno?
You notice the lieutenant's about to say something.
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. It's disgusting.
Oh, so he's an anarcho-primitivist?
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
No.
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
They were.
Useless now.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
Do you smoke Tio Motsuri cigarettes?
I do. They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
Okay.
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing. The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We're not coalition appointed. We just try to help people.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, Le Parti Communiste. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. Like you belong to the Moralist Party. 43 years and 10 months.
It's the length of my entire life.
It's too long. It's not how a human being should live.
He just couldn't.
Couldn't give up.
He nods, but he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Two police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects giant letters across the plaza mosaic in dark red government marked. Patrol officer Judith Minot Points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smelling of petroleum. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution.
Nothing in history is guaranteed, but revolution is still a possibility.
No. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
Just one more question.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. I ain't going.
What do I need for that? Composure? It sucks to be poor.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
Right. Imagine if you were talking to a police officer and mid-conversation, he cuts you off and says, "One moment." And then, like, not even stepping away from you, right in front of you, changes his clothes. He opens up a bag. He puts on a new pair of pants. Right in front of you.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble.
Time to save scum. These black jeans will get me through this.
Minions of capital.
For a 60...
Got him.
I don't want to be a minion of capitalism.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
Harry just saying, it's Harry and says, like, empathy. I think we should improve things somewhat. The deserter. Yes, but you participate in capitalism. I'm very intelligent.
For a 60-year-old...
Someone has pointed out that all of the different brain halves look like NPCs.
Minions of capital.
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island.
If I wear the jacket, is that going to change anything?
Minions of capital.
No.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild...
He's surprisingly okay.
Indeed. He speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
The one thing that someone had pointed out, like, I have to find the Tumblr post, and I'll tweet it, but the silhouette of Composure represents Kim.
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. Great leaps of emotion, from anger to grief, despair.
Empathy looks like Dolores Day, or she has her eyes.
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile.
Authority looks like Titus.
Is it some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on. Perhaps, but his seems more than that. The inner turmoil takes unexpected turns. In summary, you sense some underlying neurological disorder.
I mean, I'm not going to listen to electrochemistry.
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
I mean, I didn't ask him if he was addicted to something. I feel like he would have given the same reaction.
Minions of... What have I used it for? I've used it for killing people.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
That's true.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. This is what you live for. This is the shit. The great serotonin jackpot. The solution. Going straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
Wait, so which one do I say then?
Nothing comes to you, and in them, a chill, like electricity running up your spine.
All is not as it seems.
Detective.
Damn it, ask it already, he wants to say.
You're saying you've killed people after the active fighting stopped.
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
Have you killed anyone with that gun in the last week or two?
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me. I'm wrong all the time.
Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor? Colonel.
The who now?
Corpse in the ceramic armor hanging behind the whirling rags. Did you shoot him?
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
What am I forgetting?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and Maybells on Clausia's balcony.
Maybells.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
I haven't seen them anywhere else in Martinaise, only here.
They blossom on the islets before. We fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was Snow White in May.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with. Classier. With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Almost. But you need one more. Just one. Or maybe two.
We done the ballistics. The shot came from the
I
island.
saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dross. Too long.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
Oh my god. Okay, there's no way he would have known that this would have caused what this caused. But a revolutionary killing an armed mercenary in this town. If he was wandering around the tunnels, he must have heard scuttlebutt or hearsay or whatever. There's been multiple times where I've like noticed the little peepholes in the underground tunnels where it says like I feel like I'm being watched and whatever. He's been watching. He knows that there's something going on. He wants to start aggressions. A revolution. He wants communism to live on. What better way to do that than to stoke the fires of the working class? To rise up against oppressive forces.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
Got this.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
You didn't handle anything. I watched it happen. You let those murderers rip right into them. Got most of them killed. None of those people mean anything to you. The vultures feed on this city.
You're getting diverted. Push the gun.
So you watched the fight? Did you like what you saw? The mayhem. It was all your doing. Your plan.
You don't know anything.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
You think we have the murder weapon?
4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it.
I'm calling it.
Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder. You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer.
He was a killer.
Dripping with blood.
He was a killer, but he was still under the protection of the law.
Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
So you shot him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
Just nod.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own, and so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at Dan, the victim and a young woman, having sex through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from.
I'm so experienced.
You can coax it out of him. The lieutenant's preparing the ground.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them last night?
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
And if you don't like it?
You pull the trigger.
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
You've got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
Okay, that is handy to know. What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder?
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that.
Okay, then.
Splat. A bloody spitball lands on the firewood.
Been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
It's a raid! What a time to raid when we're talking about druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers. I'm assuming that's a bad word in French. Hi, everyone from Leica's stream. Make sure to give you all a big shout out. We're doing some Disco Elysium, and I think we're near the end. Doing some Black Op, Cold War, some Call of Duty. We're about to solve this goddamn murder. It was this guy.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back.
More specifically.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
How come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez.
True.
It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that social democratic union and the farce of a social democrat who runs it.
Tried my best not to fall asleep, but those matches put me to sleep. Understandable.
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
Let him finish, do not interrupt.
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins.
Thank you for the raid, Leica, and make sure to get a lot of rest. You haven't slept in 30 hours. Oh my god. Yeah, please take care of yourself as best you can.
Intense, like animals. Like those boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
That all?
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. The worst is that old cop parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores...
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter.
Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating them.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the Union's top brass.
So who's the disappointment? Everett Clare?
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass.
Edgar.
He talks a big game about uprising and social base. They must have sent the smart one to some university in Le Jardin, where it's alienation this, first against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in...
Of course. Maybe don't go straight for the kill. Exhaust everything else first. Soften him up.
I haven't approached anyone.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brain.
I literally did the same thing.
Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't I was right about one of those things.
When was this?
20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they?
That's around the time the Clares came to power.
What'd you talk about?
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Mazov. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Mazov. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought.
He let you be here.
Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Mazovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them. But he's insinuating something.
You mean Rene?
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not A working class game, royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A petank maniac race traitor.
Let's back off before you get too
What is
agitated.
there to be agitated about? The unholy ghoul. I love him there. He reminds me of everything we fought for. At least we killed Dafistel and his king. Every royalist. I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him, personally. His make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. That one. Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me.
You'd like to kill him?
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think. No, don't waste it. Better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him.
Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from
him? Yes, of course.
He seems relieved. Could he have been worried for him? He reminds him of himself. The same hatred. They are veterans of the same war. Somewhere west in Coal City, his enemy is lying in a dark room on a metal slider. In Lycée Municipal, with an agitated gait, Satellite Officer Jean Heron Vichmer paces the jetty, 22 kilometers east in Martinez. What could he possibly be doing there for some police work? Patrol Officer Judith Minot replies, with a tinge of hope in her voice. Tinge of warmth, too, against the cold air rising from the water.
Now, I only have one shot.
Oh no, the connection doesn't come to you, Dumbo. Do something. Slap yourself in the head again. Jumpstart it. By God, we are on the edge, in the very end, and you can't even remember.
About this deal you made with Edgar. The death of the Colonel mercenary was only coincidentally beneficial to the Clares. What about the other people you've killed?
Other people?
Like the previous 4 women.
That's it. That's what you weren't connecting yourself.
Thank you, Kim.
I didn't fight 40 years to end up an informant for the international regime. What happened?
Still dumb. Your eyes are transfixed on his digits. Before, when you asked him about the Union, he said it was a disappointment. They promised him something political.
They promised political change and they didn't deliver.
Look who's up. You're worse off than me.
We will have plenty of time to talk about this, Mr. Dross, when you're in pre-detention.
Go ahead.
Ease off it. This was not an unmitigated disaster. The lieutenant mitigated it. Just proceed, calmly.
Horse.
Do I want to tell him that this Renee is dead? It feels like a bad thing to do. Why do you do this thing?
Yes, where is he?
Oh my God. He's even worried for him.
Fuck.
No. I waited too long. I waited too long and...
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew...
They're all dead now.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
You cared about him?
All human beings care about each other. I cared for...
He reminded him of himself. The same hatred. The same. You tried to think of something else. But
you think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days.
Glad we talked about what?
His lip curled.
Glad we talked about what?
Well, we've
Is
gotten
what
everything.
you plan to say. Before you can get past, you're under.
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more.
The old man, you startled him. Maybe it was the silence.
What else
He
can I get
quickly
from him?
gathers himself. Still, what could he be afraid of?
Why does he interrupt me when it's like...
Them. Jealousy is a reactionary concept, and I wanted to see his head explode. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head.
This man has seen past her, and now he longs to see her covered, to punish her.
How long have you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then.
Past the Fell building on the coast?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She could...
And beautiful.
Just letting you know it's a point of no return. Fair.
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut. Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. Oh, I mean... I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run.
You could tell she was a spook? From the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo. And glasses. Forged. I'm not blind, am I?
How'd you get close enough to see the bruises?
I have my ways. Not in this lifetime, Dwat.
On her. This one's gone. Make up somehow. You lost it.
One little thing I missed and I drown in anxiety. Yep.
Rightly so. Fix this now. Push on extra carefully.
There's
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like...
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something.
Was that why you left the dried flowers behind her window?
No,
Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
When was this?
The day after I killed him.
And you brought her Maybells?
Yes. I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
You wanted to console her.
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant, one more down.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement.
There's the motive.
That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
She got away, but she let us here first. She figured someone was watching her from the seafort.
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revachol, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lucerne Central Aerodrome, a cocoon suspended in the sky. On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still, she smiles among the crowd, among the great ghosts of the city she's leaving. For another, smaller, distant, hidden. Not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Streetlights, towers, tenements, and water. And across it, there, on a dilapidated jetty, in a nameless village, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea, the ruins of a seafort. He's there, doing what exactly, I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something, Special Consultant Heidelstam is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interestingly. As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. The old man has fallen silent, staring at your feet.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand?
Ooh.
Do you understand?
But...
He's afraid.
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
I thought my perception was good.
You thought you heard something.
Maybe we could all fit in there. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one...
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Who watches him there while I come back for you?
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce?
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
Actually, no.
Maybe I can just ask them that picker to watch him.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
You could come back for me once you've taken him to the precinct.
No. It would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
Let's be polite. I'll do it.
This world. What are you talking about? Is this... us?
Your skin is crawling suddenly.
What? 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 Excuse me. Excuse me.
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there.
No.
in ghostly silence.
You're not gonna fucking tell me that the Instill Indian phasmid's fucking real. They didn't hint this fucking... It's like you're playing a cop game and oh, Bigfoot's there.
It's still there. An unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin hovering in place.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
Finally gone insane.
You feel the lieutenant's hand on your back.
I can see it.
Thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs.
Be very, very careful.
What the fuck? It was real? It was real. You're lying to me. No. Oh, God damn it.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss.
97%.
Like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and it's...
Okay.
Take the picture.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3.
If the shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword.
Holy shit.
The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash.
I got it.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed.
I was not expecting
You
this.
feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Warning! A small shudder passes the creature's arm. High above you, there is some kind of countdown happening. The stimulus overloaded it. It's passing, like an extended moment or a gallstone. The antennae hang from a great height. The sensation is electrifying. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen. It tastes like sugar, very faint, odorless, mostly comprised of water.
Huh.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, suddenly, there is silence. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind. Shifting around in the reeds around it, in the muddy water, you notice some of its hind legs apparently standing on the water from time to time. It's that light.
Huh.
No reply. A total ancient silence. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one.
I'll talk to it now.
I exist. Tell me what it's like for you.
Fire burning
Fire? Where?
inside.
I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is not even blood, but lymph. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations, a swarm of sounds.
This is a game about solving a murder mystery, and I'm talking to a giant stick bug about philosophy.
I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never burn. Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. That must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on. And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry...
In honor of your shit, Lieutenant Yfretur, which you kept together in the face of total unrelenting terror, day after day, second by second.
I got stick bugged.
Detective arriving on the scene.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
The killer.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration.
You're destroying him?
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him. I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Revachol, district of Martinez, March 51. No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met, you are the kindest.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
What woman?
You cannot lie to me. Behind you, it smells of fires. So awfully far you were prepared to go in her presence. And it.
I will try.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
I fucking can't believe it. Detective!
And just like that, it's gone. Skating away across the sea's calm mirror, like a skipping stone. And something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing there.
It's gone. Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need...
I want to check on the nest. Fine.
What is it? What do you want from me?
Something is very wrong with him now.
How could you not see the phasmid?
Mr. Doras?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed open with fear and longing, like an addict of some terrible substance.
Touch his shoulder gently.
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem.
The trembling mouth.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. The appearance of the phasmid, in conjunction with the stress of the arrest. He spent his entire life here. For him to leave would be... We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here, if we don't take too long.
Will he? I'm also guessing by all the successful checks that the police are behind me. Or waiting at the docks for me. I've searched everything here pretty thoroughly. I was worried I needed to hold my gun out. I thought there was going to be like a whole big conflict.
The skiff is swaying on the waves. The skiff is...
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland. 2 men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
I've been awaited by the other police officers.
Look what the tide brought him.
Jean Vicmain.
I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
I'm literally wearing the RCM uniform.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstein, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us. We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
No one else seems bothered by it.
Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton.
Yeah, I'm a cop in a goddamn exoskeleton.
Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on, it's hard to tell.
Vic, calm down.
What's all this about?
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Harry, we want to help you. Trant, I believe.
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact...
No, Trant, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets.
How did you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
I saved his establishment and he betrays me? I understand. Okay, Gart told you.
And people on the street helped us too.
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk.
Yes, I'm Trant Heilerstein. I never said I wasn't Trant Heilerstein.
What's up with the kid then?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No problem.
So what are you special consulting here?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s. Like
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
Mentioned a task force?
Yeah. Major Crimes Unit. Under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Refresh my memory. Who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Heidelstein.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team.
Huh.
He was really good. Then he left because other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trant because...
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G. Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing. For both of you.
So what does this unit do?
It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry.
They're your posse. Or what remains of it.
The 41st isn't...
Where have you been all this time? There was a mercenary tribunal.
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
So you let me face a squad of trained killers alone just to teach me a lesson?
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we? Yes, you're sorry. You're the sorriest cop who ever lived. Nothing has changed, Harry. I've heard this repentance shit 1,000,000 times over.
None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but...
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
I drank so much I lost my memory and I'm now slowly recovering it.
He is. He's getting better. And I can confirm that he drank a lot of alcohol prior to it happening.
I believe he drank. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their whole life because...
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case.
The two cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the Next World mural. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in?
Yeah.
What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect. Look at the sensory input here.
I abused substances because capitalism is bad.
Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it, hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit?
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work, if not in his previous leadership role.
Leadership now.
I'm ready to lead again.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension? Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
Got my badge right here.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out. You juggle the badge for a second. Ouch! You strained your elbow.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements.
Show him your 2 pistols and 2 rifles!
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I quit drinking forever.
I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a week.
A bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to...
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuragis. We know.
Quick question. Have you actually been drinking or no? No! I haven't drank once. Literally not once. I have alcohol in my inventory. I've not used it.
Duped again. Not for one moment do I believe you quit drinking. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect. Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's compared to the 6 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Here comes the cavalry.
He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
I also solved the case. It's solved.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
It's so much better if he does this.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
You've spent the week with him on this case.
On the case?
On Lieutenant Yofretor Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not
been drinking on the job. Not been drinking on the job.
See?
1 week.
The most important report card ever, Kim's opinion.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue.
Yep.
He likes to apologize.
I do.
Profusely. Making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
I'm a self-hating communist.
You should yell something.
That's not a good idea.
Yes, let's let the big boys talk.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven.
Yes, I am.
And he solved it, near perfectly. In 1 week we have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator. Locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
So as you can see, I'm pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist.
Fucking hell. Is this somehow connected to the case?
The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
Yes, the phasmid may have contributed to his mental state in some way over the years.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary.
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
I also started a nightclub.
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church. That's great. Entrepreneurship is a great new career for you. After police officer.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject now.
Female?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female.
Incredible. What?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
Just a hunch.
Interesting. Then it is especially vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the entire species.
I'm so glad I got sprayed down.
Probably talking conservation efforts here.
It had mandibles that looked like hair and it was completely white on the inside.
But also reed-colored. beige and brown, a little...
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even...
This would really help with some of the,
Absolutely, this is great.
Huh.
This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest.
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment. Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
Revolutionary.
The
Metron.
custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed.
So, it is what a soldier of the...
thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory.
Of course, excuse me,
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
Killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man.
A strange psychosexual fascination. The result of spending all this time in solitude on the islands of this bay. And trauma too. He himself gave a political reason. In his mind. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head. And 2 officers on the scene that missed the dross.
It's a clean win.
It's way more than that.
Did all I could. Every second was a struggle.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work. In bouts. Bouts don't last. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. It will pass in time.
Previous head of the Debardeurs Union was assassinated by our killer.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Evrard and Edgar...
And eyes, too. Your return from the island must...
Understood, of course.
But a case against Everard.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related.
Oh, thank you for the hydration reminder.
Political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first.
Thank you, Dirge.
How? It seems to be ongoing.
He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information between the company rep and Evrard, until the rep came to see that the Union desires war. At which point Mrs. Messier decided to...
What? Hand clear the terminal?
Just told some people the thing. No big deal. Things are calmer now.
Sounds like you got played, Harry. Because you were off your tits on Al Ghul.
Maybe.
Maybe. Certainly. You're Everclear's peony now, just as I said. Is that why you want us to investigate the assassination of the previous Union head?
No, it's nothing like that. He was reckless with information, but ethical. We don't owe anyone anything. This allowed us to stabilize things in...
God, calm down, Jean.
Silence. Good. The man doesn't know what to say.
Yes, yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue.
Huh.
I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry.
Still, good work would...
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Why? That's not what you...
There was a possible witness in there, and it was close to the crime scene.
Huh.
He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper.
Of course. Call it community outreach, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Dodged the bullet there. For a moment, it seemed like you were just wasting time.
Confiscated drugs.
Who's Kuno?
You don't want to.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I'm in. At this point, anything is but the drink.
So what do you say? You want to take this hot shot back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species. And solved the murder. So I have to.
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
You haven't been drinking, she thinks. So, maybe this time.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody.
Now, Now you will finally get to know who you are. The man looks westward, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre?
No.
Okay, then.
Talks concluded.
Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over.
You really went with it too. Really, Max.
Dora something. Dora England. Yeah.
Not Dora Dubois.
So we weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago?
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah. Or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora England. Incredibly bangable.
Figures.
Extremely fuckable, Harry.
Heartbreak, welcome. Pain, welcome.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with...
Look, the sun is about to go down.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees older. Who is Lena? Well,
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasimid. It's there that they should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news.
She is going to be over the moon.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then, detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Want to do that at Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering.
Come work with me.
Work with Price? I'm flattered.
Would fit in. And crazy enough, this truly came as a surprise to him.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flat.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first.
Hell yeah.
But
I'm getting my boyfriend to work with me.
Whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant.
I do like the sound of that.
I got an achievement for that.
He's really considering it.
I'm ready.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls,
hell yeah,
and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41 to Boogie Street, you close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. Dawson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomley Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Well, shouldn't we go get the guy from the island? Oh. Oh, the door didn't open. Oh, right. This whole time I forgot I was shot, so my legs fucked up. Yeah, no, those doors aren't opening. just gonna leave the man on the island? Are we gonna get him? Or what? He's just gonna die out there, man. Are you just gonna leave him to die, this old man? I know he's a murderer, but fucking shit, dude. Well, that was Disco Elysium. Oh my god. That was an incredible game. This was like one of the best books I've ever read. I want more of this universe. I want more of this world. I want like a tabletop set in this universe. I kind of like the limitations of like how automatic weapons are kind of rarer. It makes balancing of weapons really interesting, which would be a good way to handle a tabletop. This inspires me to write something. These guys deserved every award they got at the Game Awards, and also shout out to them for thanking Karl Marx in their acceptance speech. Holy shit, though. I can't really imagine playing the game any differently than I did. There are probably a couple of checks. There are a couple of checks here or there that I regret failing. And I am curious to see, like... Curious about the karaoke. That could have been fun. God, the voice work on this game was also fantastic. Everyone who did all the voices in this, fantastic. You did explicitly miss out on the resolution for the horrible necktie. I did. I didn't wear it all that often. See, the thing that I was trying to do is, as I was finding more of the RCM detective clothes, is I was wearing it. I was trying to look like a real detective. I wanted to be a respectable police officer to kind of signify that Harry is no longer the disco guy. He's, like, growing as a person. Might be interesting to go through again and listen to it a little more. I did get a few interesting bits of necktie dialogue. It was curious. He seems like a fun character to deal with. I'm guessing this is like alternate language. Follower acquired. Funeral Dirge, thank you for the follow. And hi, Kryuki. You're catching us at the end of Disco Elysium here. I just beat the game. I am a sad, sorry communist cop. But yeah, no, I tried to tie off as many loose ends as I could. And that was interesting. I didn't think that the phasmid would be real. That was a big fucking out of nowhere twist. It's like, oh hey, yeah, there's a giant stick bug. That was a surprising twist. Also, on the note of the necktie, Rye, the description of the necktie says that it would be really annoyed at you if you replaced it with a scarf. And the moment I got my first scarf piece of clothing and I put it on, I was expecting to put the tie on and get a piece of dialogue like, hey, what the fuck was that? But sadly, he doesn't react. Maybe I'll watch your VOD on how you finish the game. I did pretty well according to the ending, I guess. They said I was thorough. I guess, like, the only thing I didn't really do was arrest Klaasje. Which... maybe that would have been a good thing to do. But even if I did, I don't think I would have gotten the final lead pointing me to the island. I probably would have, process of elimination, gone to the island anyway, but, like, I feel like her helping in the case was the big thing there. And she promised that she would go to the police. And she didn't. How dare she? I gave her a court order. And she just didn't listen to my court order? I'm an officer of the law. Oh, my phone is freaking the fuck out. Long-ass credits, huh? I can't skip them. I could close the game, but I don't want to. I get the feeling there's something at the end of these credits. I'm just surprised that I don't have an option to skip it. I guess it's a good opportunity to talk quickly about some of the stuff from Summer Games Fest, even though I didn't really watch any of the trailers or any of the announcements. There was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that was announced that looks like a really competent side-scrolling beat-em-up, and it's something that I've been craving since I played Scott Pilgrim again and, like, beat it to death and played Castle Crashers for, like, the 20th time. So I'm always ready for more good side-scrolling beat-em-ups. And the fact that they dropped Casey Jones has me sold. I get to play a TMNT beat-em-up game as Casey Jones. That's it. Who are you going to raid this time after this? Not sure. I might look at some of the... I'm going to look at who's on. Might as well do that now. Oh, Bear and Breakfast was also announced, and that looks really good. Who is live? You know, I think Shidose could use the viewers. Yeah. Throw her some love. She's doing some Yakuza 0. It looks like she's just starting up as well. I'm just going to see what's at the end here. That's it. Well, that's it. Well, Disco Elysium has been a fun ride. It's a unique game that I never would have been exposed to if it wasn't bought for me. Metal Hellsinger. Oh, yeah. Oh, and they also dropped... there's a trailer for Goat Simulator 3 that looks really interesting. And, I mean, like, Goat Simulator is a meme game, but it looks like a fun meme game. There's another good game in there that I'm blanking on. I don't follow game trailers and stuff that much. I know, like, oh, streamers should be reacting to everything, but, you know. I can't. Can't follow all those game trailers. I know, what is it, Xbox and Bethesda are doing a case later on, like in a couple days. I know the Starlink or whatever, the space Oblivion is getting delayed. Which, I mean, good. It's being developed in the middle of COVID. I hope the development team is taking more time with it. Outer Worlds 2, I'd like to hear more news about. Outer Worlds 1 might be a future entrant into this series. I'm gonna have to start looking at some other indie titles here to play, but that'll be a thing to figure out for next week. Yeah, it's fascinating. It got me to think about that a lot, and I ended up being very communist. Anyway, I'll send you all Cheeto Say's way. Tomorrow is Friday, and we are not going to be doing a collab stream because of scheduling issues, but I did promise a Fortnite stream through Dono incentives on my channel, or through the Desert Bus stream. I promised people that I would do a Fortnite stream if I hit a certain amount of money, and we did, so I'm going to. So that's happening tomorrow. Saturday, I'm going to be playing Rumbleverse, which is a wrestling-themed battle royale, which I'm very excited about. Thank you for today. Yeah, no problem. I understand time zones are a thing, and I appreciate you dropping in at all. And Sunday is going to be a mix of games, Roller Champions and Vampire the Masquerade and stuff like that. Anyway, love you all. And I want to say this. It's my proper sign-off. Have a good night, or else. Thanks for watching.